Hi guys, let's have a look at what's happening on Monday, the 28th of December 2020. I'm going to choose 3 cards to see what the tarot has to say about Monday. Let's have a look. First card we have Cetus. Then we have Aries, the Emperor. And finally, the Empress in reverse. Okay. So Cetus is the Two of Wands. The Two of Wands is usually someone standing between the two wands, holding the world in the palm of his hand, and he's looking at what he's going to do next. Here we've got this big monster, so that indicates that you have this big willpower that you can use to set new goals and to look at different ways of doing things. The sun is the center of our solar system. It's your solar plexus. It's how you control your life. It's what gives you power and what you desire. And the sun rules Leo in astrology. So it's the height of summer. It's really having a lot of energy, enjoying your life, and even having the time to play. But here we've got Aries, and Aries is the first sign of the zodiac. We've got a lot of Aries here, and that's all about spring. It's about saying, what am I going to do next? How can I generate some energy here? How can I get things going? It's the ram. It's able to overcome obstacles. And the Two of Wands has to do with your life purpose. So this is really willpower. It's kind of monstrous energy to say, me. What do I want? What will I create? And this really opens things up for you. So if you set some goals today, you'll find those easy to achieve. And also planning ahead for the future is going to be quite easy because you have an excess of power. So use that to look at what you want to achieve for the rest of the year and plan ahead for the new year, 2021, what obstacles you want to overcome. It's interesting because some years I've noticed, we've watched some church services here this morning. There was the local church where we live that was on TV, and they had this service. And I remember a few years ago when I was here, we actually went to a service and I was really feeling it. And this year, it's not that strong. It's just like, I don't feel as connected with the whole church thing. And it's interesting because self-will is often seen as the kind of antithesis to doing someone else's will, doing the will of the higher self. So it may be easier for you to look at things in a practical way and to say, I want this, therefore I'm going to do it, rather than trying to connect to something bigger and figuring out what the universe wants for you. And what that means is this excess of power really allows you to move forward with less doubt and to say, I want this, therefore it's right and good, and I'm going to do it. So there isn't much quibbling with yourself. There isn't a whole back and forth. It's really very simple and straightforward. I want to do something, therefore I'm going to do it. And the Emperor really heightens that. The Emperor has got Mars in here. Mars is the planet of masculinity, the red planet, that actually rules the sign of Aries. And that says your will is the most important will, and that if you apply that will, you can achieve anything. We've got the 4 pillars here, all with Aries on top of it. So you've got some options. You can either decide to get the house cleaned and to do everything in a practical way, or you can say, I want a new purpose in life. I want to work in a different field. I want to study something new, or I want to go do some exercise. I want to be sporty, and you have lots of options. And if you find those options exciting and interesting, then there's really nothing stopping you from getting those things done. He's wearing this red cloak that is all about fire and purpose, willpower, life, passion for life, and a desire to get on. And the ram is around his neck, so it's really embedded and ingrained in him that if he does something, he's going to be successful with it. He's had this idea. He wanted to be the emperor. He wanted to be in charge. So he took that power, he made it happen, and there he is. So there's really nothing stopping you today. If you set some goals and if you decide to even get things down on paper for the future, you'll be able to list lots of things. So you'll be really motivated, and you'll find it easy to kind of brainstorm about what you want to do, because the sense of motivation and drive is really right there. Sometimes you have to kind of research and grasp a little bit to say, okay, what actually interests me, and sometimes things feel a little bit flat. Here on Monday, they're not going to feel flat. They're going to feel super exciting, and you'll have lots of options to choose from. We've got the bird here, freedom. So the freedom to choose what it is that you want to do. And also this is a bird of prey. So if you have to compete, or if you have to get into a course, for example, that is very competitive, like if you want to go to veterinary school, and there are lots of other applicants, and you really have to get things down right, then you're not going to shy away from that. You'll say, I am good enough, I believe in myself, this is something I want to do, therefore I'm going to do it, and I'm not going to shy away from other people who are going to try and take my place, or situations where you feel like you've been locked out, like you're an outsider looking in. You'll find it easy to barge into those situations and say, hey, what about me? I exist too. My opinion, my views on things. It can be a bit much because we're looking at it with this much power. If you're in a social situation and you decide, you know what, I am the funniest person in here. I'm just going to hog the whole conversation. I'm just going to talk. I'm not going to listen to anyone else. And I'm just going to bombard people with my views, then that can be a bit much. So try and channel it into something that's personal and that is a goal of yours, because you'll be able to translate that energy into getting things done, rather than trying to kind of suck the air out of the room and say, I am number one here and I want everyone to look at me. Because you will feel this energy quite strongly, so will other people. So if you're all talking over each other, then no one can kind of hear anything and nothing gets done. And you might end up being quite frustrated. No one's paying attention to me. I've got all this energy and drive. Why don't they appreciate everything that I'm doing here? Why aren't people applauding and saying I am the best and most wonderful? Being really practical with this is the best way forward, because that's where the energy is going to be most useful. Finally, the Empress, the third card of the major arcana, is in front of the Emperor, and the Empress, she gives birth to new life. She's loving. We've got Aphrodite here, the planet Venus, love and beauty. We've got Taurus, so beauty in a practical way. Libra, connecting with other people and being considerate. And we've got the elements. I think this is air and that is earth. I might be wrong about that. The triangles, we've got 4. So we've got one pointing down without the line through it. And then we've got we've got 2 pointing down. One has the line through it, and I think that is earth. And then we have 2 pointing upwards, one without the line, and then one with the line. I'm going to use this as air and earth because we've got those 2 symbols there. So air is about the way you think and communicate. So making things more beautiful and thinking about the way you articulate yourself in a loving way. And then here we've got earth, which is about being super practical and using your power to get things done in a beautiful, loving way. It's in reverse. So the consideration when it comes to other people isn't at the forefront of your attention. It's kind of like, me, what can I do? I'm not that interested in creating balance. I'm, in fact, interested in creating imbalance because I want to get ahead. And then Taurus, in reverse, a lack of control when it comes to creating beauty and acting with love. And it's all about getting control of your circumstances in a way that you like. So if you decide that you want to do something for yourself, you want to go on a holiday, but you're using the family savings, then great. You know, you're using the finances that you've got to change your life around, but the people around you aren't going to be that thrilled that you're using their savings just to go on holiday. So with Venus in reverse, love and romance and being considerate and trying to make things better for other people isn't going to be center stage today. You're center stage, and when that happens, it's important to try and use that energy in a practical way, rather than just puffing yourself up and saying, do you know what, I am the king of the world and everyone has to worship me. That usually doesn't go down very well. So everything opens up, you're in control, you're in charge, you can see things clearly. So things that would usually limit you, I want to, let's see, I want to be promoted and I want to be the manager in this business. That is something that is much more practical, and that's actually going to work if you make a plan around that. But if you just want adoration and praise for nothing, that's not going to work. So really, it's not about looking towards other people to validate you. It's about taking action that really gets you somewhere and puts you in a position where you do get that validation, but it's more long term. So it's kind of setting the stage for you to thrive at the end of this year, moving into 2021. So I would kind of suggest that writing things down and making a long-term plan is better than just kind of going for the quick fix and saying, I'm going to get up on stage and demand attention and praise and applause. Because same way, other people are going to be concerned with their own needs and their own desires. So we've got some numbers. We've got the Empress, that's 3, and 4 is 7, and 2 is 9. 9 is spirituality and completion. So also look at what you've done this year, where you have achieved, and how you can build on that, and things that you wanted to do this year, but that you haven't been able to complete. Revisit those and put those on your list and say, I'm going to try again next year, and I have the energy to plan ahead now and to make things happen in 2021. So you can complete that cycle that way. Have a wonderful start to the week. It certainly isn't going to be a snooze. This is going to be full of energy and life, and there are lots of opportunities waiting for you. So really try and be as productive as you can, and you'll be able to get a lot done. If you'd like a personal reading with me, please get in touch via the website, gregoryscott.com. If you like this video, then give it a like, hit subscribe, and share the video online if you really like it. Have a wonderful day, and I'll speak to you tomorrow.